Hey y'all, I am getting ready to do more readings. I'm getting ready to do the Sagittarius General. Um, but while I was setting up, I wanted to kind of have like a chit chat video with you guys because today on my bike ride, I like to bike, I'm a biker. um, a thought popped in my head and I don't know. Well, I do know why. I was just thinking about okay. I was biking and I have a friend who lives like not far by, right? And so I had texted and I had just like told him like I'm working out outside. And I told my sister too, like we're all cool. And I was like, not to be funny or weird or anything, but like I'm a woman, I'm out here alone. And there was this homeless guy and when I bike, like I bike for cardio, so I'm going fast. like I'm going fast or trying to go fast, but most times I'm doing like laps, like quick fast. So in my head I was like, well, I would probably like blow by, I'm like really fast. But at the same time, like I kind of checked myself in the moment. Um because I was seriously, concerned about safety or whatever. And there have been reports of certain situations going on over there. And I'm the type of person where I really believe in having faith and believing in God and praying and asking for traveling grace and things like that. But not allowing fear to stifle you and, not go work out, not take care of yourself because you're scared of everything that happens in the world. So, went out, whatever, hit him up, and then, I was like, yo, there's this guy, da 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 da. And then my sister was like, oh, fuck no, so, or fuck no, baby. so, I was like, I know, right? Da da da. I was like, just like letting y'all know. I was like, I'm cool, like, he just walked on a certain part and then he walked off, whatever. But after that, I had this thought in my head just about humanity and about where every person's position and place that they're in life and at that time and why we're there and all these things. And my mind flipped to the opposite. It flipped to the millionaires and the billionaires, and I was like, well, to me, this is my version, I guess, of a daily walk. Like my daily biking, and I'm just a much happier, healthier person when I am biking. Okay, and so even though it's hard to carve out that time, and I'm more consistent when I do it earlier in the morning. So wake up, get it out the way, do whatever, and then later in the night, or in the evening, maybe I should say later in the evening, I'll do sets like with weights and stuff like that or whatever. So that's kind of when I'm home, that's kind of the routine that I've started to work out for myself. Um, but yeah, so that. So running into the guy, the homeless guy on the track, it sparked many thoughts. And that's why I love just like living life. I am so grateful and thankful for the life that I'm living, for where I am in life. And I just had like these aha epiphany moments, just by the simplest things, just by someone walking past me, right? And it made me think about, my perspective of the world, his perspective of the world, other people's perspective of the world, the perspective of the world that is in the total opposite position to him, right? So I thought to myself, I said, I was like, I wonder, because my daily bike ride to me is equivalent to somebody's like daily walk. Everyone's talking about do your daily walk and do all this stuff, whatever. Everybody's trying to be healthy, and I actually love that about the 30s. so, um, funny enough, I just came back from the doctor, um, for the optometrist or whatever. and because my eyes had been twitching. At first it was one and then it was the other, and I was like, okay, what the hell? I took a coffee break and everything, and the first thing I did after I left the optometrist was get a coffee, okay? Because once I figured out my eyes wasn't twitching from like caffeine or whatever, I was like, okay, girl, we're in the green. But basically my astigmatism is like getting worse with age, and so that's one thing that's also on my mind too, of just like I want to be as healthy as possible. And I've thought about like going to like drip bars, getting B12 shots, and that's like fun to me. Like that's my version of like, girl, you done made it. Like like being able to take care of yourself at a high level is just amazing, and that's such a blessing. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to say is that since the bike ride is the equivalent to like the daily walk, I thought, okay, well, the homeless guy is doing his daily walk or whatever. He's on the track. And what would a millionaire doing his daily walk be thinking of? What would a billionaire doing his daily walk would be thinking of? And what blessed my soul was that what popped up was like, okay, those people in those positions have all the money in the world. So when on their daily walk, they're probably not thinking about the next thing they want to buy. They might be, who knows, right? They're probably not thinking about the next thing they want to buy. They're probably thinking that I've bought everything that I can, right? So I think that their personal journey would be more about achieving things that are more felt, not seen. You know what I mean? So I was like, they're probably in this energy of like, I want a happy home. I want to feel love. I want to be closer to God. Um, you know what I mean? I want peace of mind. I want solitude. I want rest. I would think that's something that a millionaire or a billionaire is probably thinking about. I want rest. They probably have problems with that because more money, more problems. And then also, unless you're investing in things like that, unless your money, well, I do think at that level, your money has to be making money for you. So you might can rest, but there's probably goals that are intangible that they are focused on versus like the things that we focus on, which is more of the material. And we think that if we have all these material things that like all the problems will go away, and like, oh, if I had the dream job, or oh, if I had, and that's just not how life works. So I had that epiphany that popped up in my head, and then that spun around to gratitude, and I was like, God, well, okay, it spun around to gratitude, and I was like, God, like, I'm so grateful and thankful to be existing in my life as is, in the space that I am, in the time that I am, and how I am, and how I am learning, and just in my own spiritual journey, my own human process here, right? But then also what popped in my mind was damn, what was it? Oh, also what popped in my mind was that we are literally where we are supposed to be. Okay, we're literally where we are supposed to be. Now, in terms of the hard work, energy, and effort that we are putting in, our output, right? Our output of energy basically is determining where we are in life, how well we are doing in life, right? The output of focused energy determines how well you are doing in life, okay? And I thought about that, and I was like, okay, all right. So, a person who, I hate to say it, but a person who is homeless or unhoused, where has their focus and effort been? And where has that got them, right? And we're not gonna pass judgments or anything, but sometimes, sometimes life just happens and things just didn't work out, and then sometimes they put effort in the wrong people, the wrong places, doing the wrong things, addiction, all these things, right? Sometimes it's a series of options that they took, or a series of negative choices, right? And that was their choice of focus. So then on the opposite side, you think of a millionaire or a billionaire or someone who's well off. what are they doing, right? How did they get there? How they got there, 9 times out of 10, is for one, applying themselves to education in some sort of way. And that's something that I've been wanting to, I don't know, I have this thing, and I'm trying to like get out of that and remove that, because, and I'll tell you why. I have a inkling or a pull, and anything I have a pull towards, it normally pans out really good for me. I have a pull towards like the financial side of life, but I don't really know. I'm like, yeah, you get your check, you try to balance your money, whatever, whatever. But just in terms of like stocks, bonds, investments, like all that, like I want to know more. Um, and I want to get through like a learning curve. And I'm sure that I can get through it, but I really haven't applied myself there, right? But there's some sort of like wall that I have to get through for some reason. And I really think that's a wall that a lot of Black people share and within our community. Of, I don't know if it's just like a little bit of ignorance and it's financial literacy, right? But I do feel that I am financial literate, um, to a certain degree, that may be a little bit better than others in my community. But I just feel like I'm feeling a pull to that, to know that, to learn that, to study that, or whatever. And then also to be able to like intuitively invest, intuitively, go towards things, whatever. Because some people are well off just because of they chose the right investments or whatever. And then it doesn't have to be like a whole bunch, but whatever. But what I thought about is that the reason why people are in the position that they are in life, yes, fate plays a part, right? But more so, it's about how long they have been focused on something, how long they've been putting the effort into something. And then that spun around, because right now, I'm really trying to break habits of like procrastination or habits of self-sabotage in like small ways. um Stop putting, and my mom is really big on that, you don't put off anything that you can do today for tomorrow. So I'm really trying to work back into that. Getting off social media. In my mind, I'm like, people who are very well off and who are solid and stable, are they on social media all day? Probably not. You know what I mean? Are they arguing in the comments? Probably not. So just applying these things, just applying these things, and putting that, into perspective. But hopefully I tied in the message, because the message was that, like, the reason why we are where we are in our life right now, it has some to do with fate, but it also has to do with our mental perspective. But then it also has to do with like self-belief, right? And if we can do these things, if we can learn these things, if we can apply these things. And then also our ability to focus. Like, basically, like, your hard work pays off. Like, what you are focused on is like what you become. So the fact that I'm focusing on these things, and it's there, it's on my mind, I'm aware of it, I think that's promising. But I just want to say that, like, you are where you are for a reason, and there's lessons that you must go through, there's initiations that you must go through in order to get to the next level. Okay? And in order to do that, 9 times out of 10, that takes focus and discipline. So we are where we are because of what we are choosing to do. And that's just what it is. And I've been coming to the conclusion of, I think somebody said it, but you really have to, like, enjoy the things that you don't like doing. You have to enjoy the discipline. Oh, another thing that popped up on my bike ride was, so I was riding, I ride fixies. So it's not like a bike with like 5 different gears and all that stuff. It's just one set gear. And I love it. I love the symbolism of it and all that. But it's like, in order to get rolling, to gain momentum, you got to put in that work, right? And so I did a hard workout yesterday. I did cardio yesterday. The day before, I'm basically kind of doing 2 a days, kind of. When I tell y'all, the holidays was like jam packed. I had a family emergency, like a major one. I fell off my workout. I was like eating all over. I'm basically bi-coastal, so like door dashing and like just try. It's kind of like being kind of ungrounded, you know. Not being able to do the routine, which I absolutely love. I love like being a regular at the local coffee shop, being a regular at the grocery store. Like I love all those things. And so now I'm getting back to that energy, but oh Lord, Lord, Lord. It was a lot, so I fell off of taking care of me. Whatever you do, don't fall off of taking care of you. Okay? Keep doing it. Keep scheduling the Pilates. Keep sitting outside and reading your book. Keep going to therapy. Keep doing the things that you love. And that's why I'm doing this. Like, you know, I just love doing this. Keep doing the things that you love. Even if you don't technically get money out of it or whatever, you are energetically gaining from what it is that you're doing. Yeah, man, just keep going. But I had that moment of like, we really are. It's almost like we can say that you really do get what you work for, or like that doesn't sound good. Let me see how I can word this. You are where you are. Now, here's when fate comes in. Here's when fate comes into play. Like if you were born into a well-off family, like you automatically are just kind of in a better position in life. You know what I mean? That's like when fate comes through. Or say you worked for somebody and somebody was like, you know what, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna put you on. But that is when like that's the God part of life, you know, where you're meeting these soulmates, you're meeting these almost like earth angels who help guide you through things or whatever. And it's very serendipitous, and you meet the love of your life, you know, in Barnes and Nobles, or you know what I mean, like all of that. Or you end up marrying somebody who's well off, or just these little things, right? Or you invest in something that just boom, you know, just blows up. But um that is like that whole fate thing that I'm talking about. But it's almost like what I'm trying to say is like we get what we work for, but also, yeah, that's just what it is. Like the effort, wherever you put the effort, that's where it's going to grow. And the thing is that you are where you are in your life because of the programming that you have. So if there's something that is mentally blocking your effort, meaning yourself, your belief in self, um, then you are where you are at this moment for that reason, to break through that. You see what I'm saying? So everybody's doing the work, and it's nothing to be like ashamed about or whatever. Like everybody's doing the work. Your work can be healing your heart. Your work can be getting over a scarcity mindset. Your work can be getting over codependent dynamics. Your work can be like, I'm all about doing the work and like thinking and being aware and just evolving. You know, I feel like for me, and this is no, you know, no shade, no tea, but a lot of people, they like to go to church and worship God, which is amazing. I love me a good little worship session, okay? It's like, don't get it fucked up, okay? Your girl is Christian, okay? But it just is expressed in a different way. But my worship is in my life, if that makes sense. So, and I'm leaning more into that of like, all right, God, how can you use me? How can I use the gifts and the talents that you have given me to help others? How can I be the light? How can my worship and my praise to you, how can my life be a continuous song, basically, you know? What is pleasing to God? What am I doing that is pleasing to God, you know? And what do I need to work on? But, yeah, God has really been working on me. I've been, breaking down, I guess you can say, um I guess you can say, so God has really broke down to me, and it's I just love like my life and who I am and like how I am, because that like every single day I am making progress mentally on things. And for me, what that's been lately is like love. What is that? What is the spiritual meaning of love? What is this? Like, really finding that out. Funny enough, I have this book down here, All About Love by Bell Hooks. And Bell Hooks talks about it. Y'all can tell it's toe down, okay? It's toe down, toe down, toe down. Yeah, it's all highlighted, and look, I'm like, oh, so true. A little heart over there. Annotated. But Bell Hooks talks about how a lot of times we have issues with finding the person for us or the community for us, or even like creating our own families and things like that, is because we have different definitions of love. So this book is literally all about love. Please, please, please read this. Please, 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 please read this. And even though I'm not really a follower or supporter of the Hood Healer anymore, you got to give honor where honor is due. She put me on game and a lot of the community on game about All About Love by Bell Hooks. So she doing her work too, period. But yeah, so I have I'm coming to my definition of what that is for me and all that, right? But I have been chipping away at love. What does that mean? And like on the spiritual side, I've come to the conclusion that like being loving is being very given. And even like kind of what Lauryn Hill was saying, like freely give to others what is freely given to you. Basically, like if an idea comes to you, or God is sending you messages or whatever, to be able to spread that. And I had a problem with that. I didn't know that it was being unloving, but I had a problem with like people being inspired by me. I saw it as copying. I saw it as inauthentic. I saw it as, but that's what we are supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be like little bright spots, who lights positive energy in others, or who inspires energy in others. So, excuse me. So I had to understand that was a part of the walk. That's a part of the purpose. That's a part, and that also means that you are impactful, or now we call it influencing, but you are impactful in that. So if somebody is dressing like you, talking like you, mimicking you, want to be like you, whatever, and actually there's somebody who kind of, I've noticed that, but I'm so proud of her and where she's come, like so far, like how she's come. She's kind of like mimicked a lot of like, well, I don't want to make it specific, but I inspired her to do a lot of the things that I do. And in my life outside of this, she's doing the same thing. And it's really helped her and her family and everything. So I'm just grateful and thankful to be able to like help people with like their direction in life, or inspiring them in some sort of way. And I had to, that's all that shit is ego. Like all that is ego. Like, oh, la 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 la. So I had to get out of that, And then another thing, well, I'm not gonna share that, but yeah. So my daily bike ride, which is equivalent to like a daily walk, but it's more than a daily walk because it's vigorous, but it's vigorous. But I had those epiphany moments, and I want to get on here and start putting those on here. I feel like this is like my space, dude. Like this is where, unless like I start a podcast or something, I really like using my voice. I'm learning that. As y'all know, I went to school. Maybe some of y'all don't know. I went to school for public relations and marketing. Public relations and advertising. And I have an art history degree that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna expand. Give it like maybe 6 months to a year. But anyway, from that aspect of trying to put thoughts and words and ideas into digital form, I can do it. I'm very good at that. Like in terms of like creating things and putting it on Instagram and all of that. There's something about me, and I think it's the Sagittarius energy. There's something about being able to quickly get your ideas out that works for me. So I just think that audio, speaking in some sort of capacity, it works for me. It works better for me. Instead of, I don't know if they're, I don't think I have an attention deficit disorder, but even like when I'm sitting down, like even in college, I've always been like this. Even in college, I I didn't want to carry around my laptop because for some reason I thought that bigger was better. So I got the biggest damn Mac laptop, and then later figured out, oh God, this is like lugging a damn desktop computer from classroom to classroom. So I'm not gonna do my notes on that. So sometimes bigger ain't better, but I'm from Texas, so it takes a while for us to understand it. So I would do my notes. I would take my notes with my hand. My notes would look horrible because my hand was moving so fast because it was trying to keep up like with my brain. Like my brain processes things really fast. So I like things to just be done like instantaneous. I don't know. I don't like the see, and that's the thing I feel like I have to work on. Like I have to learn how to fall in love with the process and like slow things down and not rush. If I was to do that, I do think that like popping out visual things will probably hit harder, or like if I really took my time with things. But I just like to be like la 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 and get it out, you know. But yeah, so just wanted to put this little gem out there for you guys. If this is, you know, just something positive. And I know, you know, if I'm going through something and I'm working through my things, that you guys are probably doing the same thing. So just know that where you are in your life is for a reason. And sometimes the reason why we haven't leveled up yet is because we haven't faced certain things that is within us. And that is the only reason. That's the only reason. I think that God is for us. There may be humans against us, but it don't matter, okay? But God is for us and wants to see us live our best life. And I know that to be true because God is a loving God and a giving God. And God wants you to be a person who can give to others, you know, and in whatever capacity that is. So when we can if we can take good care of ourselves, then we can take good care of others and help others, you know. But also just with a grain of salt, you got to watch codependent dynamics, okay? If people are no good for you, if people can't show up and do the work for themselves, I think the most loving thing that a person can do is take care of themselves. It may be an Aquarius independent thing. I think independence makes interdependence even greater. I think that being independent makes the village stronger because you have something to bring to the table versus just eating off of the table. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all I want to say. All right. I'm getting ready to finish Sagittarius. And then I think I want to do Scorpio next. For some reason, Scorpio is on my spirit. All right, y'all. See you living life. Peace.